Wow. Can we just say Physician Kwan, Physician Kwan, Physician Kwan? He is in the middle of all of it, right? Like, wow. I was like, okay, did not see that coming, but wow. Anyway, if you're new to my channel, my name is Anne, and on my channel, I review foreign international content. Today, I'm back to review episode 13 and 14 of Under the Queen's Umbrella, and woo, it has picked up as we are about to go to the finale next week. And wow, this queen, I have to say, now that we know the secrets, what is she going to do? Because when you think about it, in the middle of all this, her husband and the mother-in-law are behind all this nonsense. So if she takes Kwan down, isn't that going to be taking down the king and the queen mother? Let's discuss about that. But before we get there, I have to say, 13 and 14, there were some good, funny moments. Like 13, I just loved it. It was so funny. Like we watched Prince Mulan grow up in front of our eyes. Like all of a sudden, you are a father. And then the queen is like, do you know how to take care of a child? Okay, here, take care of the baby. The poor baby is crying and crying. He cannot sleep. They both can't sleep. And he is just like, this is so hard. I don't know what to do. And then, Mom, please help me, right? And at first I was like, by the way, why can't he marry Chowal, the mother of the child? And then I remembered she's of low blood, right? So that means until he's married to someone, I guess, of the same caliber as him, then he probably can take her as his concubine, consort, right? Like the others. So that's the reason why, because I'm like, they love each other. They have a baby. Prince Mulan was so happy. Like he even loved the baby. He's like, peekaboo, peekaboo. I mean, it was the most hilarious, funniest thing ever. And in the end, how the mother, oh my God, this queen always comes up with a solution. Like, look, don't leave the palace. You're going to be the wet nurse. She kept the mother as the wet nurse because she says, I know what it's like to have your child taken away and you're far away from them. Don't leave. Stay here, but it's a secret, right? As of right now, nobody knows Prince Mulan has a baby. The one court lady from the king's mother is suspecting something, so she was there to snoop. But thank God there were, a few steps ahead of her, right? So I'm loving that story, and I love that the queen told them, be patient. Soon enough, I will make sure that you guys can, publicly live comfortably with everybody knowing. But for now, hush, hush, right? And the brothers coming in and just playing with the baby. Oh, they are so cute. I love how they support each other, right? And then we go to Prince Seongnam, who finally, I'm glad the mom said, hey, dude, relax. I chose her, okay? She's here for the right reasons, right? And then, obviously, they don't consummate the marriage. That was the most hilarious thing when she was like, call the lady, the sex goddess, let them teach them how to consummate, right? You gotta drink this, you gotta do some exercises, let's build that stamina, let's get you drunk, eat this, eat that, and let's get to business, right? Which, by the way, the crown princess, she was so cute. I love how optimistic she always is. I love that she covered for him when the king's mother was like, what? He left the quarters. So you guys didn't consummate your marriage. What's the problem? And she's like, oh, he left, but he came back. And we all know it was a lie. She was covering for him. And then she immediately runs to the queen and say, we've got a problem, okay? And I love that the queen is like, this girl is here for my son, hands down, and let me help them. So she brings the sex coach in how to consummate the marriage. That was funny. And then Seongnam drank too much. I believe they consummated the marriage, but poor thing was so drunk, he doesn't quite remember. He's like, oh, that's right, I kissed her. Oh yeah, we laid down. But it's almost like, I'm like, dude, how can you not be sober for this? How do you enjoy yourself if you're drunk, right? But here's to hoping in the next time he is gonna be sober and he can be present there. But he was kind of like, did we do it or did we not do it? Or did we just fall asleep? That was hilarious. But I love their relationship. I feel like it's going in the right direction. And then Physician Kwan, in the middle of all of this. First of all, secret is out. We know now Prince Yuseon, the daddy, the father is Physician Kwan, because he got together with the mother, Consort Huang, and that's, we figured this out. I think we all figured before when grandma was looking at the ears that Prince Yuseon was not the king's son, right? So now we know about that. And then the story is told about how the queen that was disposed after the other crown prince was killed is Physician Kwan's brother. And they switched up sons so that he was raised by the other physician, and the other son of the physician went to stay with the queen, who is the queen that was disposed. And he even pretended to have that little limp that Physician Kwan does, so people would never know, And I was like, okay, that was kind of smart. And I'm sorry, I know he poisoned the crown prince that belongs to this queen, but you have to see the motive in the fact that it was the crazy grandma, and the king, the current king, knows. He was there when he saw the other prince being poisoned. He saw it. He was looking and he saw as he fell, and his mother sitting right there. Okay? So it makes sense that Kwan was like, look, I will do revenge, and I will become the physician to the royalty, your highnesses, so that I can be close with them and do the same exact thing they did to my brother. Even the disposed queen was like, when she confronted and said, wait, that is your son, and your son poisoned my son? And she said, even if I knew, I would not have stopped him, because the same thing happened to my son. And I was like, yeah, I get that. Because the bad person is not Kwan or his mother. The bad person is their crazy, evil, the king's mother, right? She's the one who poisoned the other crown prince. Now, the thing is, now the king also knows. Remember when she went to the king and said, we need to investigate. Our son was murdered, there was poison. And he's like, yeah, let's not do that. Because he always knew of what happened to the other crown prince, and he knew his mother was behind it. So if you open that Pandora's box to try and investigate about their son, you'd have to investigate about the previous crown prince that died, and that would bring it down to his own mother. So my question is, so she just found that out. How is she going to bring justice to this evil grandmother of a queen without affecting her own husband? I'm like, how does justice get served? But I have faith in this queen. She's the most smartest queen ever. I have a feeling she's going to find a way. I can see her and Physician Kwan maybe joining together and bring that grandmother down. Like, look, we know. So we're going to need you to stand down, and we're going to need you to go away and stop this nonsense so that things can go back to the way they were. But I'm like, wow. And then think about it. Physician Kwan's son is also royalty, because Physician Kwan was the brother to the other crown prince. Right? What do you think is going to happen? How does this queen bring justice without affecting her own husband, the king? And then obviously we know that the evil grandmother is behind this whole poisoning of everybody. I cannot wait for the finale. Episode 15 and 16 cannot come sooner. I'm really looking forward to see, they wrap everything and how they're gonna deal with the whole situation, and the fact that the king knew what happened about the poisoning. Even his grandfather knew about the other crown prince that was poisoned. They all were in on it and acted like, died. Let's dispose of that queen and we just come into power and be quiet, right? And by the way, that counselor, now everybody is like, we don't like you. He's lost his power. Nobody is here to support him. He's all left by himself, which is very interesting. I thought it was interesting that he was also against, no, we cannot dethrone the king. How can I dethrone the king that I put there? Interesting. Anyway, let me know down below what you thought of episode 13 and 14. I thought it was a good mixture of funny and then a lot of information and a lot of things were revealed. But absolutely loving this show. I'm actually gonna be sad to see it end. But this queen, best queen ever. I just love her so much. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. If you like my video, give me a like, subscribe. It does help to support my channel. And I'll see you next week. Join me for the finale. Deuces.